Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Jonathan Mast, your host, and today we have got an amazing masterclass that's going to be put on by Kevin Lee. If you guys don't know Kevin Lee, he is one of the foremost video experts that I know. The guy is a genius. He's amazing. He won't tell you that, but I will. He's absolutely amazing. And we've been talking a lot over the last few weeks about a number of things with YouTube channels and video marketing and all that. And Kevin had a wonderful idea to share some of this with you guys through this masterclass. So today is class 1, and there is going to be a follow-up. We'll announce more details at the end, but keep in tab. If you're watching the replay, make sure you do as well, because we're going to announce at the end of this session, there's an incredible giveaway for anybody that attends the second masterclass. So I'll bait it with that. Kevin, with that, I'm going to turn things over to you. I'll be here as you need me. Take it over.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for that warm introduction. Guys, so I want to share with you something that I've been working on for some time. I've been a content creator for about 9 years, doing a lot of video content, starting my own YouTube channel, seeing that to success, and then working with a lot of other brands and businesses and influencers who want to be able to create content, but struggle with a lot of the processes and the systems and the equipment that came with it. And yes, you did hear a giveaway, but we'll get to that at the end of this. So, what a lot of content creators struggle with is coming up with what topics do I want to create on, what is my expertise, or what is the value that I bring to the table, and how do I really put all this together, package it up so that I can be really consistent and make it so that when my audience or my viewers watch my stuff, they know what to expect, they know who I am, they know what I'm about, and they know what to expect from me. So in this presentation, we're going to walk through that process, and we're going to leverage ChatGPT to basically streamline the process for you. Have you heard about ChatGPT? Any of you guys?
Just a
I'm
few
sure
of us,
some
I
of
bet.
just a few. Just a few. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share two screens. I'm going to share my actual presentation stack, and then I'm also going to share my chat GPT thread so that way you can see how it all plays out. So that's going to probably slow things down a little bit, but expect this to be probably about 30 minutes to just get through it. But when you're done here, the process will probably take you like 5 to 10 minutes to do. And if you do this consistently, I promise you, every time you make more content or you need more content ideas, it'll take about a minute to 2 minutes to come up with and as much as 144 video ideas that'll cover your entire year and then some. I know personally it takes me about maybe a week. Well, maybe I could probably bang out 2 or 3 videos in a week if I'm really working at it. So if I can generate 144 videos for myself, or video ideas for myself, that's basically a year's worth of video content and then some. So let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds
We're
great.
going to,
Looking forward to this.
me too, because I just barely finished creating this thing minutes
Yeah,
before we got
those of you
started.
that are watching, Kevin and I are chatting beforehand, and I'm actually telling him how brilliant he is because he's way ahead of where I am at when he comes to prepping everything. We'll go ahead and get the screen set up here and make sure that everything good. All right, that should be good. All right, take her
We are
away.
good to go. Lovely, lovely. All right. So this is known as the launch stack. This is a version of my video launch stack and also another version of a project I call Lucy Boo, which that's a conversation for another day. So in this session, we're going to go through 6 steps, and we have a few bonus steps to go with it. The first step is priming Chat GPT. Oh man, I didn't even have the, see, this is how you know that I just barely put this thing together, because even the descriptions aren't even on there. So step 1, we're going to go through priming Chat GPT. Step 2, we're going to build your brand beacon. That is a very, very crucial step to this whole process. Step 3, we're going to hit your core topics. Step 4, we're going to define what kind of expert you are. Step 5, we're going to establish your brand voice. And then step 6, we're going to connect the dots. And then I'll get into the bonus steps after that. That's really going to make everything work out in your favor. Priming Chat GPT. So when it comes to priming Chat GPT, obviously, if you've ever worked with it, you kind of have to give it some context, something to work off of in order for it to know what to do with you. So in this case, we're going to tell Chat GPT to be your content strategist. So I wonder if I should do that step, and I'll do that step next. I'm just going to walk you through the process, and then we'll actually demo it. Step 2 is the actual brand beacon. Now, your brand beacon is your foundation. It's essentially your 30-second elevator pitch. It's explaining to your audience who you are, what you're about, why you exist, who your ideal audience is, what their goals and desires are, where their pain points are, what they struggle with most, what motivates them, and finally, how you connect the dots between what you offer and what your audience is really looking for. When you're done here, you'll end up with an example like this. I'm Kevin Lee. I'm a content creator focused on boosting content quality and strategy for brands, businesses, and influencers. I provide clear strategies to match a brand's strengths with what their audience wants. My approach simplifies content production and offers a powerful distribution plan for better visibility and more business chances. So that was all generated by ChatGPT. How did I get there? Well, it comes in 3 steps. You just answer 3 questions. And you're going to do this on a document or a piece of paper or something. And you're just going to introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? And the third one is supposed to be, how do I connect my offers and my solutions to my audience? And so with that, you're going to use your prompt or copy this prompt here, take the following bullet points and create a compelling paragraph that's easy to read and understand, even at a 7th grade level. I did this at a 5th grade level, and it was almost too childish. I didn't like it. So 7th grade is reasonable. I can remember when I was in 7th grade, I think I was just barely able to even form sentences. I don't know. So at 7th grade, this level is actually reasonable to work with. So you're going to take that prompt, put down who you are, who your ideal audience is, and then what you provide for them. You're going to paste that into ChatGPT, and it's going to spit back what you saw here. Once you complete that, we're going to move on to the core topics. Now, if this feels like I'm moving really fast for you, don't worry. We're going to get through this when we actually do the demo side in ChatGPT. Your core topics, here you're going to define your 3 to 9 core topics that you're really passionate about. So if for myself as a content creator, it spans everything from philosophy and mindset in content creation, gear and tech, software and apps, AI as a tool for content creation, systems and processes, SEO and digital strategy, filmmaking and editing, and then finally growing an audience and influence. So your personal core topics can be whatever it is that you're really into. So if you're in real estate, there's probably a handful of core topics that you're really passionate about that you can talk about all day long, that you could easily geek out on if you were in a group of peers. So think about what those core topics are, write them down, and then those are going to be the core topics that you're going to create your channel on. You're going to take that list and you're going to combine it with this prompt. Here are my core topics. After I share them with you, I'll be providing further instructions, and then insert the bullet point of core topics there. Once you paste that into ChatGPT, you're ready to move forward. Now you're going to define what kind of expert you are. And the way that I came up with this setup is it was reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets. If you've ever done .com secrets, expert secrets, and what was the third one? Was it Funnel Seek? I have the book over there somewhere. But the point of this is that according to Russell Brunson, there's about 6 different types of experts out there. Just because you say you're an expert doesn't necessarily mean you're like the highest on the totem pole. You might be somebody who's still learning as you're going along. And so you might be somebody like the reporter expert at the bottom. You might be a teacher expert, which excels in breaking down those concepts and then being able to teach it to others. You might be more of the guide or the mentor, kind of like myself, who's gone through a lot of the processes, made a ton of mistakes along the way, and is going to share and teach with others how to not make those same kind of mistakes as you go along. And then there's a role model who is a living example of all of those things that you aspire to be in your specific field or in the specific area that you want to grow in. And then there's the research expert who is just really good at looking for the answers, finding those answers, coming up with solutions, coming up with all the different theories, and being able to display the information in a really coherent way to the people that watch. And then there's the results expert. I've done this long enough. Here are the results I've had. This is why you should follow me. And these are the steps you need to take. So depending on which expert you identify most with, you're going to select that one and let ChatGPT know. And the way that this works is the prompt is here. Now, this prompt is really hard to read because it was a lot of text to add in. So don't worry about what this says. It's essentially saying the same exact thing that you see in this particular section or in this slide here. And what it's basically saying is present these expert options and then ask me to select one and then move forward. So once you've selected your expert type, we're going to move on to your brand voice. This is super easy. All you're basically going to do is select 3 to 5 words, 6 in my case, that describe who or what your brand voice sounds like. So if the best way to do this is ask your friends, like, if you could describe me, my personality in 5 different words, what would they be? And just let them rip. Sometimes they're going to be really nice, maybe really generous, or they might just lie to your face. Who knows? It could just, whatever those words are, you're going to take those and we're going to apply them to your ChatGPT prompt. And the prompt is, here are the words that would describe my brand tone of voice. Make sure that all content would reflect this. After I submit this, please wait for further instructions. The words are, and then you just list those words. Why is this important? Because maybe the way that if you were to just have ChatGPT write a script for you, it might not fit your tone of voice. I know in the past where I've tried to write out scripts and I didn't define my brand voice, it just wrote it kind of like in a robotic way. And I remember struggling trying to say the words that it would write for me because it wasn't my tone of voice. And I believe that the better you are at writing the way that you speak, the better your scripts are going to come out. And if you're the type that needs scripts to do video, this is the best way to do it, is to make sure that it's writing in your tone of voice and it's consistent. Now we're going to connect the dots. So now that you've gotten your brand beacon, essentially your 30-second elevator pitch, you've defined your core topics, you've defined what kind of expert you are, and you've defined your brand tone of voice. Now we're going to apply what's called the teaser framework. Now, the teaser framework is how you're going to pass your video ideas and come up with different ways to present it. So the teaser framework was something I actually came across watching TikTok. You never know what you're going to find on TikTok. And every so often you get these really nice gems. And the gem that I came across was the teaser method. So rather than just making a general video, you're going to make a video make a video on the topic based on one of the 6 letters of the teaser framework. T stands for trends. What's trending regarding this idea? So if I said, I'm going to make a video about the iPhone 14. Trending. What's trending on the iPhone 14? Is it the apps? Is it this new hack that I found? Or is it the new way that people are using the iPhone 14? Education. Here are 5 things that I learned that have boosted my productivity on the iPhone 14. Aspirational. Do you want to know what I went through to make or to earn myself the iPhone 14? I'm going to share that with you. Storytelling. Storytelling could be, let me tell you about this time that I dropped my iPhone in the pool and I was able to save it and what that means to me. Entertainment. 5 different hacks that I'm going to use to, I don't know, spoof somebody? Is it spoof somebody? What did crank call? Oh, the crank calls that I'm going to make with the iPhone 14. And then lastly, the review. Obviously, here's a review of the iPhone 14. So within these different frameworks, we're able to come up with ideas for just the iPhone 14. and it would be unique to your style and to your experience and your knowledge, but it's giving you something that you wouldn't normally think of for your video ideas. So in this prompt, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of our core topics and we're going to apply our expertise to it. So it's going to basically take up the brand beacon, our expert uh our expert level or expertise level, our brand voice, and we're going to create a paragraph of how we're connected to each core topic. And that's going to be kind of the summary of that core topic, so that when you actually paste that later down the line to something like, I want to come up with 15 new video ideas for this particular core topic, you'll include your brand summary in it, and that's going to help create more context. And so for myself, what it did was, under philosophy and mindset and content creation and strategy, it created this paragraph. As your guide in the world of content creation, I bring not just skills, but a philosophy and mindset that transform the way you create. I'll help you understand the way behind your content, or the why behind your content, aligning your strategy with your core values and making every piece meaningful and impactful. And so every one of these core topics has a summary or a description of what I'm going to bring to the table. And so even in your videos, when you actually finish a video in your particular core topic, you can add that as part of your video description. And it has a lot of those juicy tidbits that YouTube's going to need to pull your video towards your audience. So for every one of my core topics, I have a summary. Now, remember I teased that teaser framework here. We're going to apply it. So using that teaser framework, we're going to use another prompt to leverage the teaser framework, and we're going to train ChatGPT on it. And then in the next prompt, which is the bonus number 2, we're going to have it come up with 3 video ideas for each of those core topics, with consideration of your brand beacon, your expertise level, your brand voice, and the core topic itself. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have pretty much every core topic covered with from every item of the framework, and you'll have 3 videos each. So essentially you would have 18 video ideas for each core topic. So for myself, I had 8 core topics and 18 video ideas each. So I came up with 144 video ideas in a short amount of time. And then we'll package it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to push the final prompt, which is, let's just create a review document that prints out my brand beacon, describe myself as the type of expert in this space, describe my brand voice, and then describe all of my core topics. And that's going to be a document that you're going to want to save, that you can use again as a primer for all of your video script ideas, or even if you're going to create a landing page, or if you're going to create a press kit for yourself. All this information is very, very relevant. And whether you're a business owner, an influencer, brand leader, content creator, or maybe you're trying to build out your resume, this stuff is actually really relevant and actually will help you a lot. Okay, so for myself, this was actually the output that I was able to generate in a previous run. So if I were to create my brand kit, this would be on my brand kit. Here's my brand beacon, the type of expert I am, my brand voice, philosophy, mindset, gear, tech. These are the topics that I'm really into. And then that's it. So I wanted to get to this point, but now I'm going to move it over to ChatGPT, and we're going to run this thing live. All right. So we're going to go through step 1. So the first step was to copy and paste the first prompt. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to hope that you guys can see this.
Yeah, I think it's coming through pretty good, Kevin.
All right. Awesome. So the next prompt we're going to use, that first prompt was basically priming it, telling it that I want it to be my content strategist, content marketer, SEO strategist for my brand. When you're ready with your instructions, oh no, sorry. I'm going to be producing YouTube videos, which will also be the foundation for my blogs, backlink articles, email newsletters, social media posts, video reels, and even ads. Please wait for further instructions. Now I'm going to paste the next one, which is the following. Take the following bullet points and create a really compelling paragraph that's easy to read and understand, even at a 7th grade level. Please confirm if I approve it. So I'm going to take those 3 things that I was talking about. So I'm Kevin Lee. I'm a content creator. I help brands, businesses, and influencers who are currently producing content but want better engagement, increased authority, and ultimately generate more business opportunities. So who's the ideal audience? And the third thing is, what do I provide? Which is, I help them by providing a comprehensive content roadmap that connects the brand's core values and topic of expertise to their ideal audience. Also by providing a streamlined process to producing professional and engaging content. And finally, by providing a distribution system that allows them to have omnipresence so more people can find them and become an audience and ultimately become customers. So I'm going to paste that here and I'm gonna hit enter. And so now what it did was produce the actual brand beacon, the paragraph. And so it says, hi, I'm Kevin Lee, a content creator. I work with brands, businesses, and influencers who are already creating content but want to see better results. What kind of results? Think more engagement, a stronger reputation, and more business opportunities. How do I do this? I create a detailed content plan that ties your brand's core values and expertise to your perfect audience. I also streamline your content production, making it professional and engaging. Plus, I set up a distribution system that puts your content everywhere, helping more people discover you, join your audience, and eventually become your customers. If this paragraph aligns with your vision, please let me know if you approve it. Yes. I love it. And that is step 2. So now that it's created that, we're ready to move on to the next step. So now we're going to copy the next prompt. I'm going to paste it here, which is the core topics. Now that we have my core topics, let's feed it into ChatGPT, the ChatGPT thread. Oh, wait, here are my core topics. After I share them with you, I'll be providing further instructions. And I'm going to replace the curly braces with my core topics right there. And I hit enter. And so ChatGPT now knows what it needs to know here about my core topics. Just letting it finish. Sweet. Okay. So the next step is to define my core topics. Or not my core topics, my brand voice. So I'm going to add this prompt and I'm going to add the brand voice words. So witty, honest, experienced, unfiltered, straightforward, simple, charismatic. I'm going to enter that. Now that it's acknowledged that, the next thing is identifying the kind of expert that I am. So the first prompt here is going to be letting ChatGPT know what the 6 types of experts are. So I'm going to paste that here. Get rid of all this extra fluff. Hit enter. And so now ChatGPT knows what are the 6 different expert types. I can either say number 4, the guide, or mentor expert. All right. So it's acknowledged that I am now the guide, or mentor expert, we're going to move on to the connecting the core topic to your expertise. And all I have to do is copy and paste here. I just need to change the as a mentor expert. So for each of my core topics, I want you to describe me in the first person as a mentor expert, as a guide or mentor expert, and associate my brand beacon with each core topic. Hit enter. And so now ChatGPT is printing out each topic and associating me with that. So for gear and tech, in my journey as a content creator, I've navigated the vast world of gear and tech. Let me guide you through selecting the right tools that make a real difference without getting overwhelmed by choices. I'll share insights on the tech that's worth your investment, helping you to create content that stands out. Look, to be honest with you, this stuff is actually better than what I would actually spit out. I think I would eventually get there, but I feel like this uses my tone almost better than I would, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just going to say it's a good thing. So now that it's completed that, we are going to train ChatGPT on categories of content based on the teaser framework. So that comes with a two-part prompt. The first prompt is we're going to teach ChatGPT on the teaser framework. We're going to copy and paste it into the chat box. We're going to hit enter. And now ChatGPT knows your teaser framework. The next prompt that you're going to feed it after that is we're going to tell it, now come up with a list of 3 content ideas and summaries for each category in each core topic. Do all 3 for each category before moving on to the next category in the teaser framework. When you've completed all 18 video ideas for the core topic, ask me to continue, wait for my confirmation, and then move on to the next core topic. Now, this part takes a little bit because depending on how many core topics you have, which if I'm going to be really honest, you want to probably have 3 to 6 core topics because you're going to have a lot of video ideas to work with. And sometimes you're going to probably produce more in one area than another, but it's always good to have multiple core topics, multiple pillars to create content on, because now you'll have an opportunity to have topical authority in not just one area, but multiple areas. So as you can see right now, it's just crushing video ideas for me. So let's go through philosophy and mindset in content creation. Trends, the latest mindset shifts in content creation. Explore the newest trends and shifts in thinking within the content creation world. Discuss how these changes impact creators and strategies for adapting to them. Look, YouTube has changed so much, and I can definitely tell you that if you spend enough time watching other creators, you'll start to notice shifts and trends in how they are approaching videos and ideas and how they're working with other creators in a collaborative effort. So I can definitely tell you that I can easily speak to this. And I've been running a few of these over the last 24 to 48 hours. And I can definitely tell you that every time I've run a new approach to this, even like deciding what kind of expert I am, the topics are within striking distance for me. Like I can definitely say that I can speak to each and every one of these. In some cases, I might have to do a little bit more research, but for the most part, this is all stuff that I can talk about all day long. So if you're in mortgages, if you're a real estate agent, if you are a digital marketer, if you're an SEO expert, if you're an AI expert, there's plenty of stuff that you can talk about all day long. And the way that I built out this framework was so that it's relevant to your authority. So whatever you're really passionate about, if you're passionate about cooking, I guarantee you can probably do all of this with just anything related to cooking, because it's all your passionate, or the things that you're passionate about, your core topics. So moving on, it's already generated 18 for philosophy and mindset and content creation. So I can just hit continue, and now it's going to bang out all the rest of the different core topics. And just for the sake of time, I'm not going to have it generate all the core topics. I'm going to move on to the final step, which is packaging it all together so that it could be used in the future. So I'm going to copy up this prompt and I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT. I'm going to wait for it to finish. But man, we are on gear and tech. So just so you know, when it comes to being a content creator, gear and tech is a big part of this. I hope my wife isn't hearing this, but I think I spend probably a good $2,000 or $3,000 on gear every single month because I'm buying and testing new pieces of equipment. Sometimes I send stuff back to Amazon, sometimes I don't. But when it comes to gear and tech, this is one of my most favorite subjects. So whatever it's going to spit out, I'm probably going to have something to say about it. So under storytelling, the story of my first camera, a content creator's tale. Man, I could definitely tell you my first camera. Up until maybe my third camera, I still didn't know how to use a camera. I was just creating content. I had a pretty expensive camera and I still didn't know how to use it. I just hit the record button. And if you compared my old videos to my videos today, night and day difference. Everything about the video sucked. And I blamed it on the camera, but it was actually just me. So all of these frameworks are great for your particular core topic. It doesn't even matter what core topic it is. It's just you have the trends, you have education, you have aspirational, you have storytelling, you have entertainment, and you have reviews. There's no way that you can't come up with some video off of these 6 different video frameworks. Okay, so now it's finished generating 18 ideas for this particular core topic. I'm just going to paste this one prompt, and I've included that prompt in the presentation deck. Every one of you who's watching right now will have access to this presentation deck, so you can actually use these for yourself. So again, if I moved too fast, don't worry about it. The presentation deck, once I clean up some of those little mistakes, you'll have full access to it and you can actually use it right away. So this last prompt is, now create a review for me, including my brand beacon, a paragraph describing my brand voice, a paragraph describing me as the kind of expert that I am, and a paragraph for each of my core topics. Write this all in first person and make sure to include H2 headers to separate the sections. Bingo. And then I'm just going to let it do its thing. This right here, you're going to want to copy and then paste into your own personal document storage app. I personally use Notion. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you, not in this session, but in the next session, how to organize your video ideas in Notion and create an entire content library and a way to essentially organize, map out your content, schedule it out, and even have templates inside of it to walk you through the process of scripting your video ideas. How does that sound? Does that sound better? I don't know if this session is as exciting as the next session, but I can definitely tell you that the next session, it's full of sweet, sweet tips. I said tips, by the way.
Let me just jump in and validate this to everybody. If you're watching and you're liking what Kevin's dropping here, the next session is going to blow you guys away. And I don't mean to just say that. Kevin's amazing. So we're going to make this presentation deck available, as he mentioned. Next session is going to just be incredible.
Yeah. And then if we have enough interest in this session, the next session, I think we should do an actual live how to film yourself. How to film yourself session with what kind of lights you need, what camera you need, what settings you need, and all that fun stuff.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I think I have a camera or two.
One or two, maybe?
Maybe. Okay, so let's go ahead and share that screen. Okay, here we go. So what happened here was I asked ChatGPT to basically put together a long form document that is going to explain everything that we basically did. First, we talked about the brand beacon. Then we hit on the type of expert you are. And then we hit on the brand voice and the core topics. So we have all of this information here. All I would do here is I would just take this entire thing and copy it, paste it into my Notion doc, save it. And then what I would do in a future chat GPT, actually, why don't we just do it now? I'm going to take that and I'm just going to add it to the thread. It's just going to do its thing. So ChatGPT took everything that I just copied, pasted into a new thread, and now it has context for what I'm about to do next. So give me, I don't know, 24 memes to use on Instagram. Keep the text under 40 characters. So now it has all this context and it can create stuff that is actually relevant to my expertise, my content, what I'm about. And I don't know if this is actually, maybe I have to be more specific because this one is all about image. A cat looking at a computer screen. Monday mornings be like ... A dog wearing sunglasses. Too cool for school. Yeah, those are definitely not the right memes. I think I need to be a little bit more specific. So I'm going to stop it right here. Based on my brand, create 24 memes to use on Instagram to inspire my audience. I don't know. Hopefully that worked out better. Okay, there you go. Much better. That is much, much better. So image 1, a light bulb shining brightly. Text, idea mode on. Seafire paddleboards. Kevin, you like gear, recommendations for great microphone, video, etc. i.e., what do you use on your vlog or this podcast? Camera, Panasonic Lumix S5 Mark II X. Microphone is the Shure MV7. The microphone is connected both to the computer and also to the camera using what's called the XLR1 XLR adapter. And for a light, it's just a basic key light. That's basically it. And to connect everything to the camera, I'm using the AverMedia Live Gamer or Live Streamer Cap 4K. So it's a very simple, very minimalist setup to basically get the best image possible with the best audio and getting a 4K feed into the computer. Lighting is key, by the way. I probably have a lot more lights, RGB lights in this room than necessary, but it's fun. I get to explore it. So there you have it. In this case, for using ChatGPT, we spent, I know it took me about probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes to go over everything. And realistically, it took me about 10 minutes to walk you through actual ChatGPT prompts and the entries that you needed to use. But I can definitely tell you that if you do it just the one time, you have everything that you need to come up with all your video ideas right out the gate. And then in the next session, we're actually going to break down that teaser framework. So trends, how should you write your script for your trends? So hook, story, intro, or hook, intro, story, value, wrapping it up, call to action. So we're going to walk through all of that stuff for teaser, education, aspirational, storytelling, entertainment, and then reviews. We're going to talk through the actual framework for each of those so that you can actually come up with your video scripting ideas. And in that as well, we'll also talk about, after you create your video, what are the things to actually optimize for to make sure that your videos get the most impressions, get the most views, and also, get the best view time, because nowadays it's not enough that your video gets views. It's the algorithm is actually talking about, or it's actually looking for, like, how long are people actually staying on your video? That definitely tells YouTube if it's worth pulling that video to them. But that will be for the next session. So there you have it. I think we can leave this session open for questions and answers, or what do you think? I think your microphone's muted.
It is. There we go. Well, you didn't hear any of my brilliance then, Kevin. What can I say?
You were dropping knowledge bombs.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in that 10 seconds, it's amazing what everybody missed, right?
I guess everybody's just going to have to join the next session to hear what you had to say.
There we go. Well, Kevin, this has been amazing. As you saw, we had some good questions come in. We've got some other comments coming in thanking you. If anybody's on and looks like we've got about 20 or 30 people live between the channels right now. If you've got questions, this is a great time to ask Kevin. He is an incredible resource, guys. So take this opportunity to ask him questions about what he's got. I want to reiterate that we're going to be sharing the prompt deck with you guys here after this particular event's over. So all those prompts that you screen share captured, you're not going to have to feed into ChatGPT and have it OCR them. We're going to be able to give all that to you. And this is just an amazing framework. Kevin, while we're waiting for some questions to come in, I've got one, and that's, a lot of the business owners that are paying attention to what we're doing, they're a little hesitant to figure out where to go next, and they kind of wonder where to start. If we've got anybody in the audience that's just sitting there going, okay, I know I need to do video, but I'm not sure where to start, what's your recommendation on that? Just get out there and press record. How do they do that effectively to get started?
I think I have this conversation easily at least once a week, just with random strangers. Like I like to hear people talk about content creation or video and stuff, especially business owners. And whenever I hear the keywords pop up, my ears perk up and I just beeline it to whoever's saying whatever they're saying. And I'm like, look, you don't have to complicate the process. You have a phone. Start with the phone. Don't buy any equipment. You don't need equipment. Like all this right here, it's all fancy, smashy stuff. I had a very fancy camera that I didn't know how to use, and I ended up wasting valuable dollars and time trying to figure out how to use a camera rather than just speaking from my head and my heart. The first thing that you need to do, if you're really struggling to come up with ideas for video, just start sharing stories in 1 minute. I think a lot of people think that they need to do really long form pieces of video. So they start putting a lot of effort into scripting and writing all this stuff out. But that's a lot more work than you're really ready for. So start by just sharing who you are and what you're about and why you exist in a minute. And that comes from sharing stories. So you are the best expert in your core values and what you believe in. So, and you are the best expert in what's happened in your own life, your own personal experiences. I love Dennis Yu's framework. And Jonathan, you've heard me share this numerous times.
Absolutely.
But I love it because it's true for me and it's true for other people. It's called your 1 minute why video. Your 1 minute why video is essentially broken down into 3 parts. When which is the opportunity for you to share your story. I believe, whatever it is that you believe, tied to your core values, that's why you do whatever it is that you do. So perfect example, I'm going to share mine. When I first started as a content creator, I thought that you had to have the nice fancy equipment. So I bought the camera, I bought the lighting, I bought the audio equipment, and I feel like I fumbled my way through the first year, maybe the second year, and maybe the third year. And I just kept piling on more and more and more gear. And by the time I had 40, 60, $80,000 worth of production equipment. I was really good at that, but I found that I started making more content with my phone, and I found that I had more engagement, and the workflow was a lot easier just to use my phone to just record and do a little bit of editing and then posting right away. It was an easier workflow. It took less time. The apps were free, and it was easy for me to get that kind of engagement and feedback so that I knew what kind of content I needed to create. Whereas with this production camera, the lighting, the equipment, it extended the process even further and got me further away from the actual thing that I was trying to do and got me more focused on the how to do the thing that I needed to do. I believe that you don't necessarily have to have all the fancy equipment to get started to create good content. You just need the one tool that's already at your disposal. It's your phone, your mobile device. It's got a great camera. It's got everything that you need. It has the apps that you need to make your edits and distribute it to your platforms. That's basically it, all in the palm of your hand. That's why I recommend before you go out and invest in any serious equipment, like the folks asking me about the equipment that I use here, use your phone, use daytime lighting, use the natural lighting that's available to you, find what works for you, find a quiet space, and just start creating. Don't even worry about how you look. Don't worry about how you sound. Yes, you sound like an idiot. Don't worry about it. But I promise you, you'll get better and better and better. And by the time you've generated thousands of subscribers and millions of views, then you might probably consider, I might want to level up and get some camera equipment. You've already have the expertise down in the style and the presentation. Maybe then think about the technical aspects. So that was my story.
Great advice. We just had a couple more questions come in. One of them was, this is from an anonymous user. I've got an iPhone 11 and I'll use that, but what about lighting? You said it's very important. I think it's important too. You mentioned natural lighting and things like that. What are some other things, again, especially for those of us getting started before we want to invest in a lot of equipment? How can we make sure that lighting is at least decent?
So especially when it comes to the iPhone's really good at adjusting for exposure because it's all the automatic settings. If you were to get the best bang for your buck with lighting, indirect lighting from a window is the best to do because it's a big source of light and it gives you nice, even lighting. It creates the shadows where you need shadows. It softens the contrast where you need it. And sometimes all you have to do, if the light's too harsh from that window, just put up a curtain, like a sheer curtain, something white, and that'll soften and diffuse the lighting, and it'll create less harsh lighting on you. I'm always a big fan of using windows with curtains or sheer fabric to soften the lighting a lot because it's free. You don't have to mess with it. But if you need some, what do they call it? It's not necessarily synthetic lighting, but fake lighting. What you're looking for is a key light. So the bigger the source of light, the nicer it is. So back here is, I don't know if you can see it, is my onion or a lantern. It creates it's a nice big modifier that you put on a Bowens mountain light. And you can find a lot of those with their stands for like $100 nowadays. They're really inexpensive, but the lantern is a really nice way to light individuals, interviews, podcast sessions. It's just the one singular source of light. It's really, really nice that you can really control. The other aspect of that is knowing the color temperature. So if you're in a room and you have no outside source of light, you have really warm light, and then you have really cool light. You want to try to play around with the lighting to decide which one works best for your skin tone. Personally, cool lighting is kind of a no-no. On the warmer light, it works better for me because of my skin tone. The other part to that is, let's see. Let me see if I can show you. So my key light is this little tube light right here. That's it. And the angle that I have it at is away from the camera. So if you light from this side of the camera, this whole part of my face is lit up. I like to light from the opposite side. So the shadow is more on this side and the lighting's more on this side. So it helps to frame your face better. So I hope that's helpful. It's not the kind of light that you buy, but it's how you use light as a source. So I like to light more one side than the other so that there's still some shadow, so that there's still some shape. Otherwise, if I look directly at the light, and I don't know, there you go. So if I'm more direct with the light, it changes how the camera picks me up. But if I have the light more towards one side and I have my shadows on this side, it just creates better contrast. It helps to frame my face better. I have a big head and round face. So
that's great advice and really good tips. Another question that came up was, where do we post this? We know we've got to go on YouTube, but what channel should we use to distribute videos out to our audience? Any recommendations there, Kevin?
I'm a big fan of reels and shorts. YouTube shorts is great, obviously. If anything, actually, how I found a lot of my traffic has come in, it's not from my long form videos, but it's a lot more from the shorts. So YouTube shorts. So find a way to create a 60-second or 30-second version of your long form. Do it in a vertical format, add some captions, spend, I don't know, 15 minutes in CapCut, use a template and just put it together. And don't just do one variation of that short, do 3 or 4 of those. And you just never know what's going to land. And if you're going to be putting that kind of effort into your verticals, throw it into TikTok, throw it into Facebook, throw it into IG, and just let the dice roll. The whole idea is omnipresence. You don't know where your audience is going to find you. So if you're dropping content only on one platform, you're alienating the rest of your potential audience on the other platforms. Now, if you're a professional doing a lot of B2B work, you're not going to find all of your audience in Facebook, IG, or TikTok. You might find more of your audience in LinkedIn. So making it so that if you're using this framework to create the foundation, now you can make a video script, feed it back into ChatGPT and say, find the highlight points from this video and give me the timestamps to cut out to use for IG Reels or TikTok Reels, something within 30 to 60 seconds. And if you upload your transcript to ChatGPT, it'll know everything it needs to do and it'll just do it. And because you have already fed those prompts in, talking about who you are as a brand beacon, the type of expert you are, your brand voice, and your core topics, you've given it so much context, it knows exactly what to look for according to your particular brand and your audience.
Wow, great advice and a really effective way to pull that all together. So wonderful tip. Wonderful tip. Well, Kevin, I want to thank you. We have a little teaser we want to let everybody know about the next masterclass that we're going to offer. And this is really one of your major giveaways. Do you want to share a little bit about what we're going to give away, or I should say what you're going to give away to anybody that joins us next time?
Okay, so if you join us for the next session, remember this whole thing that I just did, that whole walkthrough and how you had to copy and paste those prompts? Well, I just built a GPT plugin specifically for this. So all you will have to do is just answer 4 questions and it will do all the work for you. You don't have to add in any prompts. I'm not a fan of prompts. It takes some time to master it. So for a lot of you who just want the result, I already covered that. So in the next session, if you show up for that next session, I will give you a secret link to get that GPT so you can start using it right away without having to know all the prompts. Yes, you do want the presentation deck because it's going to teach you the why and the how. But now that you're already a master of that, you already understand that, you'll understand and really appreciate the GPT plugin far more. So I'm going to give that to anybody and everybody who shows up to the next session.
That is an amazing giveaway, Kevin. Thank you so much. In the interim, I'd kind of like to issue a little challenge to everybody because Kevin's doing some traveling for some speaking. I'm doing some traveling for some speaking. So we're trying to figure out when that next session is going to be, but it will be in the next couple of weeks here. We'll get that put together. But while we're doing that, I'd love to encourage everybody, Kevin, to post a video. Well, first of all, join Kevin's group. Kevin, can we have him join your YouTubers United group? Is that a fair thing to
Yes,
do?
please. It would be awesome.
So
So I see somebody who's in my YouTubers United group already. So thank you so much, Brittany Elliott, for joining us today. And I can definitely tell you that in that Facebook group, we really do talk about how to improve as content creators. So there's a lot of insights in there, a lot of value, a lot of people just sharing ideas and also asking for constructive criticism. And that's all we do there. I, I found that there are a lot of YouTuber Facebook groups in there, and there's a lot of people who are just selling and scamming and sharing services. And there's very little value that's being delivered. It's just a lot of scammers and spammers. So that is literally the reason why I made this YouTubers Facebook group, is so that you can talk about the things that you're struggling with. And there's a bunch of people in that group who really do care. And I can definitely tell you that you've mastered something when you can teach it and share it with others.
Great tip. So I'd like to challenge everybody, one, to go join the group, YouTubers United. It's easy to find, no problem. You just search for it, you'll find it there. The other thing I want to encourage you to do before that next session, and I know nobody likes homework, but this is a masterclass. There's a little bit of homework I'd like to encourage you to do. I want everybody to make sure that if you're watching this, you go out and record not 10, not 100, but at least one video between now and that masterclass. And I'd love to see you walk through what Kevin has just shared with us, because it will help get your arms around everything you're trying to do here. If you've ever thought about how do you grow your channel, if you've got a YouTube channel, you've got a Facebook group, you're trying to grow that, video is by far and away, in my opinion, the best way to do that. And Kevin just unveiled an amazing way for you to get your brand voice, to get everything figured out, to give you all the details. I know he's going to give us, if you come next time, he's going to give you the easy way, but I want to encourage you to take the time to walk through the prompts we're going to share in the prompt deck and learn, because you'll learn a ton in the process. And then the next time you do it, you can use this ChatGPT. But guys, record a video. Kevin, are you in agreement with me on that, or am I all wet?
No, I'm in full agreement. Like, you should be creating a video. Just make a video. And don't worry about how you look or sound. Just get into the practice of it. I promise you'll get really good at it.
Good. Well, we just had a comment incoming. Great. I just missed it. Oh, bummer. Not a worry. This replay will be available. Kevin, can you pull up on your screen the YouTubers United in a minute? We've got a couple people in the group that are having, or in the chat, that are having a problem finding it. I'd like to be able to give them that URL. If you could pull that up, we'll share your screen there. Let everybody see that. All right, let's go ahead and pull that in here a minute. We'll pull that up. There we go. So this is what you should be looking for. It's YouTubers United. If you see that image, you know you're in the right group. And we'll go ahead and do that. And yeah, go ahead. In fact, Kevin, if you could, since you're there, I hate to make you do all the work, but since you've got it up there, could you take the URL for that and paste it either in the chat window or paste it in our private chat, and then I can paste it for everybody?
Yeah.
So then you've got that. Let me share this real quick here a minute. I'm going to put this out, and I think everybody should see it. It'll show it's coming from Restream, which is the software we're using, but there's a direct link that should be going out to everybody to be able to see that. It'll definitely show up in the replay if you're not. So just go ahead and go out there and find that. You'll, again, take a look at that screenshot. That way you know you're in the right group, and you guys can all connect with that. So that should help out. Lots of thanks coming through from groups for that. Again, a reminder, the replay will be posted here shortly, and we're going to be doing a second masterclass here, and we may even be able to convince Kevin to do one more after that. He's got so much to drop here, so much value. Kevin, I just want to thank you for investing the time to prep for this. I know we've been talking about this now for a couple of weeks. You've been putting a ton of time into it. I so appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your expertise. And of course, as an AI nut, I love the AI aspect of it as well. So I'm just, again, eternally thankful to you. Thank you so incredibly much.
Thank you, Jonathan. I really appreciate you.
You guys have a fantastic weekend. Start recording those videos. And if you've got questions, reach out to Kevin, reach out to me. We're here to help you guys succeed when it comes to video, AI, anything like that. With that, make it a great day, everyone.